Excellent. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Badge. Welcome back to our audience. I see is filling in now. I'm Steve Fecto from Talent Development and Learning. It's my privilege and thrill to host another episode, our now 17th episode of Beyond the Badge. I've got a backstage crew of, like I said, 20 stories or so ready to share with you in this episode. And for those who are new, what is Beyond the Badge all about? So these are stories that were shared on our system daily huddle. Every single day, there is a huddle that takes place with our executive leadership from around the system. And one leader gets their turn in a rotation to celebrate an employee and share a recognition story. Sometimes a patient letter, sometimes it's a peer praise from a star recognition, sometimes it's just an incredible story or a great project they wanted to shout out. These are the stories that were shared in May every day on the huddle. And we've collected them all thanks to our partners from that group, Joseph Mari, Swati Garg. Swati does an incredible amount of help to share her stories with us each month. And I've got my team backstage with all our celebrants so I can hear the buzz. They're ready to go. I want to thank Michael Joseph, Madison Irving, and Jessica Rubin, who are going to be bringing up these celebrants for you to meet. And we just love hearing these stories, but you have a role to help us out. Although you're off camera in our audience, that chat line is open, and we love to see all of your praise and appreciation. If you're here to celebrate someone, add your voice to their moment and let us know why the employee you're here to cheer on is so wonderful. So set that chat to everyone and give us your praise, not just your colleagues, but to everybody whose story you're inspired by. And I see the reactions coming up too. Use those reaction buttons for everything you love as well. I want to get us started by sharing our audience is filled with family and friends of celebrants, people from their department, but also many of the leaders that attend the huddles and other leaders who love to come back month after month and see these stories. They're a part of our audience. I'm going to call out a couple of them who I know are here today and said they'd be willing to come on and give some welcoming comments. I want to go first to Jonathan Kiriakou. He's our Chief Operating Officer for Mount Sinai Hospital. Jonathan, I know you're a big fan of the show and you come very regularly, and I'd love to let you open up to our audience.
No, thanks for having me, everybody. And thanks, Steve. And like Steve said, I'm Jonathan, and this is actually one of my favorite things I get to do each month. I say that from a place where when people ask me what I love most about Mount Sinai, I always say my standard answer is the people. And I truly mean that. And I say that from a place where, so much of what we do here is just so normal to us, but we do such great things. And I wasn't part of the naming of this program, but really we do stuff that's even beyond our job, right? And beyond the scope of what our responsibility is. And, taking a little bit of time each month and just hearing really, really great stories that happen and really highlighting, just so we all remember for ourselves, all the amazing stuff that really does happen within our four walls. So, on behalf of me and everybody listening, thanks for everything that everybody does here. And congratulations to all the celebrants. And thanks to all the families who joined. This is really, really awesome. So I'm excited to really listen to all 20 of what I heard is 20 stories today. So yeah. Thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you so much. And great point bringing out the title. And you're right. The reason these are shared is everyone at Mount Sinai does such incredible work. And these are the stories that went even beyond where leaders said, wow, I've got to share this amazing letter, this great recognition. And that's what brought us to Beyond the Badge. So thank you, Jonathan. I know you're going to sit back and enjoy hearing these stories. And another fan of ours who comes back month after month representing the network practices is Alicia Gresham. She's our Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, always active in the chat, celebrating your employees and all the employees that stories are being shared. Hi, Alicia.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be back with you again this month. This is absolutely one of my favorite things to do every month is participate in this event. Welcome to all the celebrants, the friends and family who are coming to help us celebrate them. This is just a glimpse of the amazing work that happens across Mount Sinai as a health system every day in every little corner of our organization. And so it's so amazing to be able to share this with you all, to highlight the people who go beyond the badge every day with these amazing stories. And I tell Steve all the time that, I'm glad I'm off camera because I'm mostly crying every month from some of the stories. And so I especially want to thank Stephanie and Darris Marie from the network. So highlighting the network group, but everyone, I'm so excited to be here and to celebrate you and the work that you do every day. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And you're right. This is just a glimpse. There's so many stories that could be shared, which really talks to you about the group that's here to raise them to level where it gets shared out of the hundreds of incredible stories, thousands of great stories that we could share at Mount Sinai. It truly is a special honor. So thank you so much. I know my tissues are too far away. I can't get around my desk now to get them. It's too late. So I'm just going to be wiping, but enjoying. All right, with that, I want to go right into them because we have so many stories to get into in this hour. The people reading the stories, quick shout out to the team from the Spotlight Committee. Our Spotlight Recognition and Appreciation Committee is made up of the leaders who really promote and engage with employees at their individual sites from around the health system. They're here not just to read the stories, but every day they're putting an effort to do employee engagement, recognition, and appreciation work, along with their regular work, many of them in patient experience fields. So I want to thank them, and that's who's going to read our stories. And we're going to go first to the biggest team. Let's get our team in here first. We'll call it a team spotlight out at Mount Sinai, Brooklyn. The 3 North nursing team was recognized through a experience by their leadership. I know their manager, Dwinette Disson, is there to get everyone set. I'm going to bring Katrina Bravo, our Brooklyn representative, on to read this story. Hi, all. All right, Katrina, let's hear.
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad to be first and gladly to present a whole team, 3 North, in fact. The remarkable 3 North nursing team has shown unwavering dedication, compassion, and resilience in their work with an unfortunate, albeit challenging patient. We want to highlight their exceptional team efforts despite episodes of verbal badgering and negative behavior to make a profound difference in this patient's life. Working with this patient requires a skill set that includes empathy, understanding, and patience. The 3 North nurses have been creative in working with this patient in pairs that increases their safety and still shows them to render the care he needs. Their daily commitment to providing this respectful care has helped heal some of the patient's complex wounds that brought him to the hospital. In the face of adversity, the 3 North nurses have remained dedicated to healing. They have shown resilience and adaptability, and they have developed a unit environment of collaboration and support. Mount Sinai Brooklyn leadership wishes to extend a heartfelt thank you to the entire team on 3 North.
Yeah, thank you. And I see some of those leaders in the chat congratulating the 3 North team and cheering them on. So certainly this is an individual case that leadership wanted to call attention to, but can someone represent the group? I heard maybe it's Robin would speak on behalf of the group. And so come on off mute and let us know about this team and how do you collaborate and support each other, not just in this case, but every day.
Okay, so hi everyone. Every morning, the staff gathers at the huddle board where we discuss the unit staffing assignment, difficulties, or challenges. This is where we voice our concerns, express gratitude, or problem solve. We allow each staff member to participate in the plan of care or decision-making for each patient. For example, if we have a confused patient, we would decide as a team whether the patient needs AvaSure or constant observation. If we are dealing with a patient that is verbally or physically abusive to the staff members, we each take turns with the patient, the staff member would not be there with the patient 2 days in a row. We decide as a team when issues need to be escalated. We believe in team care. We believe in teamwork makes a dream work. This is our second family and our second home. And thank you for the recognition.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Applause for the whole group and the team. Thank you, Robin, for sharing your purpose and your commitment together as a team and the process for it and how you start off your day at that huddle board. I want to remind our audience, you can see a full list of the 3 North team, everyone involved in nursing and everyone who supports the nurses and is on that unit in our program. So we'll drop the digital program in again. But I'm so glad leadership took the time to share your story in this example on the huddle and now today on Beyond the Badge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Katrina. We're going to stick with patient stories. Now, we've got a biggest group I've ever seen in the patient letter category. Patient letters are becoming very popular to share on the huddle. I think we've got 8 stories that are appreciation by patients. The first, unfortunately, Miriam Irizarry could not make it here today. And I want to give her a shout out. She's from Mount Sinai West, received praise from a patient's spouse about her above and beyond care and compassion. We're sorry Miriam couldn't make it today. And just so our audience knows, even though that program is out there, we jump around a little bit because this is a hospital. I found out a doctor's in surgery now unexpectedly. They won't be here today. Others might be coming in and out. So you never know where I'm going to go next. So everyone be ready for the next story. And I'm going to go first to Mount Sinai Hospital faculty practice. And Ann Dickerson's our sponsor there, our Spotlight Committee member. And she's going to share a story about Emily Cole. Let's bring Emily on up. Hi.
Wonderful. Awesome. So the Division of Medical Genetics and Genomic Sciences has received numerous letters and emails from patients who remark on the positive impact Emily has had on them and their care. As a cancer genetic counseling assistant, Emily is on the phone with patients all day and assists patients facing difficult situations as a result of their genetic testing or when dealing with a familial positive genetic result. During their appointments, patients often realize how important the records and information Emily obtained were for their visit, and many patients ask to meet her in person to express their appreciation for her compassion, empathy, and kindness. We thank Emily for her dedication and commitment to excellence, and we just thank you so much, Emily, and we're happy to celebrate you here today.
Yeah, thank you. And Emily, so, it's great people want to come and meet you. You're making a difference in their lives. And I wonder if you could describe, what is your purpose? What is the aim you make the difference you aim to make in the lives of your patients in your work as a genetic counseling assistant?
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. Huge shout out to my team, especially Tequila and Julie for trusting me with their patient care. I think genetic counseling is very daunting for people who are really unfamiliar with the process. So really helping them from start to finish, answering their questions and getting those records is really helpful in the end. So I'm really, really grateful for this position and for my team for supporting me in everything that I do. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny they don't realize it right away. And it's after their appointment, they go, wow, I'm so glad I have that guy. Now I need to meet Emily. That was so helpful to have had that. Really great. All right. Well, thank you, Emily. And thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
We're going to go next to Mount Sinai Downtown. Leadership for Downtown recognized Bridget OReilly from Mount Sinai Union Square. So I'll have our Union Square representative, Ellie Park, share this story for Bridget. Let's bring Bridget on up.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Thank you. I'm very excited for this event today and to celebrate Bridget OReilly from Mount Sinai Union Square Vascular Surgery Team. A patient wrote, I was a little nervous when I went to the vascular lab because I was having unusual symptoms. I was so fortunate to have Bridget OReilly help me. She patiently explained the test to me before starting and continued to keep me informed throughout the exam. Her level of professionalism and clinical excellence were amazing. Then when I said I was cold, Bridget brought me a blanket. She was so caring and compassionate. Finally, when I left the exam room, Bridget personally walked me out. I use a cane and Bridget's support was so thoughtful. Bridget made a personal connection with me that is so rare during medical visits. She made me feel comfortable and cared for, and I am extremely grateful. Bridget, you are wonderful. Congratulations, Bridget, and thank you for taking such exceptional care of our patients.
Thank you, Ellie. Bridget, I honed in on the comment that the personal connection you make is rare to this patient's perspective in a medical visit. Can you tell us what's your approach in making that personal connection with your patients?
Thank you so much. My approach above all else is an awareness that the patient is an individual. And greeting them in a polite and pleasant manner conveys to them immediately that they are welcomed and will be cared for. During the visit, maintaining an attentiveness to their needs, offering small gestures of comfort and kindness go a long way. And the procedure is more likely to go smoothly if a patient feels safe, comfortable, and calm. I'm very touched that this patient took the time to write of their experience. Thank you so much.
And I know all of our patient experience colleagues are loving how you're connecting, how that experience that you're giving them is impacting the quality of the care that they receive, and how important that they pair together. Really wonderful, Bridget, and thank you. It's a wonderful letter and a wonderful story. Okay, and thank you, Ellie. We're going to go next to, all right, Alicia, get ready. We have two from the network practices back to back. I'll have Rebecca Asmussen come up for these next two. And first it's Stavrula Papas Rogers. She goes by Stephanie. So welcome, Stephanie. And let's bring on Rebecca for this one.
Thanks, Steve. I'm honored to share this patient story today. A patient says, I wanted to take time to write about someone who has made a real difference in my experience at Mount Sinai in Green Lawn. Stephanie is an absolute gem, always pleasant, patient, and understanding. One of the things that really stands out to me about her is how well she works under pressure. Even when things are hectic and there's a lot going on, she remains calm, collected, and pleasant. She's always asking, are you okay? Do you need anything? Which really helps to put me at ease. But what really sets her apart is how attentive she is to everyone's needs. She listens to what's going on and offers words of support when needed. I remember one time when I was completely out of breath and couldn't even carry my bag. She carried my bag, walked me out to the parking lot, and made sure that I was all right. She makes the whole experience so much better, and I'm grateful for all that she does. Great work, Stephanie.
Yeah, very nice. So I'm honing in on a specific line again for everything they praised you for. They highlighted your attentiveness to their needs and everyone's needs that sets you apart. Can you tell us a little bit about that, your approach that gives you that reputation with your patients? Oh, Stephanie, we don't have your audio. I see you're off mute.
Are we okay now?
There we go. Yes.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you, number one, for this honor. This is wonderful to be here. Thank you for the team that I work with. My administrative staff and all our support staff here is wonderful. But in hematology oncology, it's just that. We have people that are fighting for their lives, and I will go above and beyond whatever is needed to make them comfortable during this transitional period of their life, which can be the most difficult. And I think with support, and with helping out everyone and assisting everyone, it can make that be a pleasant experience. And this way they walk away with a smile on their face versus everything else they're facing daily.
Wow, very beautiful, as you can tell, with all the hearts fluttering up on screen as you speak. Really important work, and that personal connection and attentiveness you're giving at a very challenging transitional time, as you said, is such a wow and so critical. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's great to meet you, and keep it up.
Thank
Great
you
patient
very
letter.
much.
Rebecca, I'm going to keep you right there. We're going to go to the Network Patient Support Center next, where we have Darris Marie Rivera, who is recognized by leadership there. Let's bring up Darris.
Hi, Darris.
Hi. Thank you, everyone. How are you?
Yeah, hi. So Darris Marie joined Mount Sinai in March, and within her first week, she had a positive patient feedback and received multiple 5-star post-call survey results. Within her first month, she received at least 2 additional patient compliments. And when Darris' supervisor was conducting a random quality check, she heard a patient say, "We don't find too many people like you anymore. I thank you so much, and I appreciate all you do." Darris is incredibly patient and kind to our patients, actively doing her best to help them in any way she can. We are so happy to be able to recognize her today and are excited to see where her journey at Mount Sinai leads. Great work, Darris.
Great work from day one, Darris. And we invite our new beginnings, new hires get invites to these episodes so we can show them what does excellence look at Mount Sinai. And hopefully, you were just the new beginnings, within the last year here. And wow, you're just wowing from the start. So can you tell us a little bit about your approach to your interactions with patients that you think makes the biggest difference in their experience?
Yes. So first off, I want to give a special shout out to my supervisor, my managers, and all my colleagues who actually trained me. That's why I'm as great as I am. But my approach is very simple. It's actually one of our core values, empathy. When patients feel like they're being heard and understood, it makes everything a little more personable, and it makes the ultimate difference. I'm the mother, I'm the patient, I'm the daughter of a patient on the other side of the phone. So I would want my family to get the same care that I provide for every patient over the phone.
Yeah, excellent. Well said. And thank you for connecting it to our core value of empathy.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Thank you.
wonderful. And continue the great work. I heard you even have sent out, have gotten resumes from other friends to come and work there, and they hope they're as good as you.
Yeah,
You found
I
people
hope
to
so.
come?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you, Darris. So nice to meet you. And
Thank you,
congrats on a
everyone.
great start to your Mount Sinai career.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and thank you, Rebecca. We're going to go next to Mount Sinai Morningside. I know my colleague there wasn't able to make it today. I believe I'm going to take the stories unless Tyler was able to get here in time. But the first up is Dr. Priya Samos. Hi, Dr. Samos. Welcome. She's here right in between patients and getting right back out. So I'm going to go right into her story. She was recognized by Mount Sinai Morningside Ambulatory Leadership. And a patient wrote a letter that stated, I visited Dr. Samos for the first time. She was knowledgeable, thorough, efficient, and kind. She explained everything in terms I understood and took the time to help me understand. While it was a simple consultation, I left the office confident that I had found a doctor who offered top-tier care. But the reason I'm sending you this note is what happened after. I started to experience chest pain. It got worse and I received a CT scan. Dr. Samos, after hours, called me and told me they found something and to go to the ER. More tests revealed I had unprovoked bilateral pulmonary emboli and infarction. It was life-threatening, but I had gotten there in time for my heart to have avoided damage. Since then, Dr. Samos has proactively played a role in my care for this condition. This includes reaching out to my hematologist to coordinate further tests and calling me when new information arrives from other appointments that she thinks necessitate further review. As I've been going through the storm, Dr. Samos has been a ray of light. Saying I'm grateful doesn't cover it. So a really powerful letter, Dr. Samos. And the patient commented on how they acted quickly because of the trust they had from that first consultation. The first time they met you, they immediately trusted you. And I wonder if you could speak to that a bit or any part of the story, but how do you build those trusting relationships right from the start?
Thanks so much, Steve. This is it's so heartwarming to hear this from patients, and it just really makes our job so special and so worth doing. I think I feel like everyone who walks into my office, I try to find something in common with them, because you can find something in common with almost everyone, and that really helps. Us connect just as people. And I think that's huge in building trust. The physician-patient relationship is often an unequal one where, patients feel that the physician has all the power, but you don't want it to be that way. And, you kind of want to make decisions jointly and really have that trust. So I think that just connecting as humans in that moment, that short time that, we get to spend together and listening to what the patient has to say and finding some common ground where we, even if it's just talking about, their family or their interests or something they like to do, and just making that common connection really works in helping us, have that relationship. And that's something I value very much.
Oh, thank you. Exceptional response. And I think I'm feeling the theme through a few of these stories, if my audience is catching it here too, of that connection to a personal level and how it's making the difference. And you hear it coming through in their letters. The people who are choosing to take the time to write a letter to leadership to say thank you to someone, it's because they're getting that personal connection. And you did it right from first appointment. They knew they had someone special in you.
Well, I'm so grateful to the patient for reaching out, and he's just he's a wonderful person, and it's as much a pleasure for me to have him as my patient as the other way around. So
wonderful. All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Samos. Have a great day with your patients that you're off to see next.
Thank you. I'm gonna hop up. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. I'm going to stick with Morningside. I believe Dr. Ashley Sang is here. She was recognized alongside Dr. Alice Xiao from Mount Sinai Morningside Leadership. There's Dr. Sang, and welcome back, by the way. This is one of our first repeat celebrants. You were recognized as part of a team just a few months ago. I think it was in our March episode. And so great work up at Morningside. I know Dr. Xiao is in surgery right now and could not be here, but let me share this story that recognized the both of you. A patient expressed appreciation to breast oncology surgeon, Dr. Ashley Sang, and site chief of plastic surgery, Dr. Alice Xiao, writing, Dr. Sang's office was a heartwarming place to be after being told your diagnosis. I couldn't ask for a better team. Dr. Sang took her time and explained the pros and cons of the choices I had as a patient. She definitely made me feel at peace with my choice of procedure. For Dr. Xiao, there are no words to describe my overwhelming joy. All I can say is she is the doctor with the magic hands, and there will never be enough thank yous to thank her and her team. You have superstars in this hospital. Thank you again for the hospitality and the moment to express my gratitude. We would like to celebrate Dr. Singh and Dr. Xiao for providing such expert and compassionate care. They truly are superstars, and we're proud to recognize them today. That was an add-on from your leadership. So wonderful story, hearing it from the patient, and both for you and for Dr. Xiao, they recognize how important you were and how special you were as their physician, but also the teams and how exceptional they were. And being this is your second time back as part of a team, there's obviously incredible teamwork happening there. And I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about the common purpose that everyone on your team really believes in that's having this result.
Yeah, I think it's always down to patient-centered medicine. It's why I went into breast cancer surgery to begin with. I love being a part of a team, and there's so much coordination that goes into place between myself, the breast radiologist, the plastic surgeons, medical oncology and radiation oncology. And it really takes a team effort. I enjoy talking and counseling to patients about the options that they have, from lumpectomy with radiation to mastectomy, and just help them and guide them through those choices and help them to feel comfortable about their final decision. So I know this patient, she was, happy with the discussion that we had together along with Dr. Xiao. Dr. Xiao also expressed that she enjoys just being able to be a part of the team as well. So we're grateful to do what we can for the patients.
And that's exactly what this patient highlighted, these difficult choices, but understanding them and feeling confident in them. And that was so critical that she highlighted. So thank you so much. Great to see you. Maybe in another couple of months, we'll have you back again. Keep getting these wonderful patient letters. So thank you and congrats to Dr. Singh and then to Dr. Xiao. We're going to go next to FBA Access Center. We've got a couple more patient letter stories before we move into our next section. Sadiqa Horn is going to come read this story for Tatya Wilson, who is recognized from the FBA Access Center. So let's bring up Tatya.
Hi, Steve, and congratulations to all the honorees today. Today, I'm honored to recognize Tatya. Tatya Wilson's manager had the pleasure of speaking with two patients who wanted to rave about the amazing service Tatya provided. Both patients stated that Tatya's patient care was above and beyond, and they greatly appreciated the time she took to assist with their needs, providing excellent service and helping to resolve their matter. Both patients were very satisfied that Tatya was able to make their experience a positive one. Both patients are pleased and stated that we need more people like Tatya. Great job, Tatya. We thank you for exhibiting Mount Sinai's core values.
Yeah, thank you. Tatya, the key thing I heard in here is how these actually started with an issue that you were able to resolve and turn it. By the end, they were writing letters to say thank you for the positive experience that they had. So I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about your, oh my gosh, I came back and here's the signs. Look at the supportive team cheering you on.
Tatya.
I love it. Tatya, tell us a little bit about your approach to these service recovery moments that leave your patients feeling so taken care of and appreciative.
Yes, good afternoon, staff and team members. My name is Tatya Wilson, and it is an honor to be here accepting the Beyond the Badge Award. To reflect on providing compassionate patient care, always keep in mind Mount Sinai's core values, empathy and creativity are what stands out the most to me. While utilizing these two values, I put myself in the patient's shoes to develop forward-thinking directive to solve problems. I keep in mind that my patient needs to help I keep in mind that my patient needs my help to fulfill their medical needs to live a better and healthier lifestyle. The patients was worried about appointments was so far along. And what I did was I searched multiple providers that accepted their assurance and got them the sooner available appointment I could find. And they was very grateful for that.
Tatya, that was so wonderfully put. And you made the connection to purpose and what you're providing to the patients and connecting them to the healthcare that they need and connecting it to our two values. And you are right. I love the creativity combined with empathy. To really provide excellent empathy, you have to be creative. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to understand someone, and that takes creativity as well. Yeah. So that is a beautiful blend to put together. And it's clearly leading to a great impact worthy of celebrating.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tatya. Thank you, team, for being back there. I'll let them keep cheering you on. All right, Sadiqa, I think we'll come back to you a little later on in our episode, but next we're going to go out to Mount Sinai, Queens. I'll have Zachary Key come up and read this one that had a patient letter that celebrated the entire Mount Sinai Queens, but specifically Tamara Bonsa-Caines, Dr. Cynthia Bui, Dylan Dorset, and Mauricio Gonzalez were all mentioned by name in this letter. So we'll bring them up. And Zach, while we're bringing them up, why don't you start us off?
Thank you so much, Steve. I'm so excited to present this story to some of my favorite people at Queens, but a Mount Sinai Hospital employee who wrote to share their family's experience at Mount Sinai Queens, writing, "My father-in-law took a bad fall at home yesterday and was transported via ambulance to MSQ. I want to express my sincerest gratitude for the care that was bestowed upon my family and I during such a dark and scary moment. Everyone that we met with went above and beyond their call of duty to ensure that my father-in-law was comfortable and well taken care of. Because he was considered a trauma patient, he was transferred to another hospital. The trauma doctors there told us that the procedure that was done at MSQ saved my father-in-law's eye, as well as his vision. We are so appreciative of the quick thinking by Dr. Cynthia Bui and her team. I especially want to recognize Tamara Bonsa-Caines, Dylan Dorset, and Mauricio Gonzalez, who showed so much compassion and care towards my family. We are eternally grateful."
All right, thank you. And to this team, I don't know who wants to step up and speak on behalf, or maybe a couple of you, but first we've got the excellent result that your clinical care saving this patient's vision. But they also talked about the experience and highlighted the four of you. So could someone speak a bit about the compassionate care that this team provides for patients and families?
Sure, I'll go very quickly. So, the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. And in this case, as soon as we realized that the procedure was necessary, Tamara was amazing. She pulled all the medications, gathered all those instruments that we needed, and ensured the patient was comfortable and the pain was adequately controlled. She talked to him throughout the entire procedure, just because I was focused on, his eye and vision at the time. And Dylan and Mauricio were both present just right outside of the patient's bed, there with the family, just answering all the questions that they had. And it really helped, calm down the patient's son, who was visibly, concerned about his father's prognosis. And Mauricio, worked very diligently, and his team, to get the patient transferred in a timely manner. So it was really teamwork. Tamara, do you have anything to add?
I just want to thank you all for recognizing me and my amazing coworkers this way. Just knowing that we made such a positive impact to someone's life, literally, and touched the family. I mean, it's just made this job so much more worth it. This is why we do this, I just want to also personally, as a nurse, making that connection with your patient and family member, it's like the most important thing, you can do. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, patients cannot speak for themselves. So as a nurse, I am there to advocate for them and to, so I'm there for the family, I take care of them. So nursing is care and compassion every day. And it starts at the door with registration, doctors, nurses, environmental services. This is what Mount Sinai is. It's always a team, is a teamwork, and I really take pride to be a member of this team for 22 years. So.
All right, excellent. Oh, excellent. 22. Well, really, really well said. And it is this team effort. And they did say everyone that they met at Mount Sinai Queens was just spectacular. And then mentioned the four of you by name. And I love how it comes back to the family as well. That it's not often these letters are written by family members, not the patients themselves, and how important their experience with. So Dylan and Mauricio, it sounded like you were with the families, as Tamara and Cynthia were with the patient, and just how overall that impact for their experience was just exceptional. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, and thanks for joining. Congrats to this team from Queens. All right, we're going to go on to our next section. This is Stories of Excellence. So these are these one-time events that took place that a leader thought was so exceptional, they wanted to shout it out. I think we're still going back to Morningside. I'll speak on behalf of Tyler, who's still not able to get back to the room here. We have Mount Sinai Health System pharmacy leadership recognize Mark Xiao from Mount Sinai Morningside. You know, I talked about you on how to pronounce the name, and then by the time I got here live on screen, I forgot. So I apologize if I missed it, Mark. But Dr. Mark Xiao from pharmacy at Mount Sinai Morningside was recognized by pharmacy leadership. Let me take that story for you. So as a transitions of care pharmacist, Mark Xiao is involved in follow-up care for discharged patients, often for more complex medication-related issues. A recent request for follow-up was for a patient who was confused and scared when speaking to the nurse. The patient was not taking antibiotics and other medications were not being taken as prescribed. In the notes, the patient was described as teary, emotional, and scared. When the call was escalated to Mark, he spent nearly an hour on the phone with the patient and caregiver, helping them feel comfortable and allaying their fears. Mark went over patient timing of medication, indications, monitoring parameters, side effects, and much more. The patient and caregiver expressed how thankful they were for the time spent reviewing all new medication changes. And we want to thank Mark for his compassion, hard work, and care for our patients. So Mark, I paid particular attention to the order this story came in, and before the line about what you did for them, the communication of those medications, was the line about how you helped them feel comfortable and allayed their fears. And is that an important part of your technique with patients to get past that barrier first? And can you talk with us about how you connect emotionally with your patients before going into the care that they need to receive?
Sure, of course. And thank you everyone for recognizing me today. I think firstly, it's important to treat each patient with the empathy and care that I would want for myself or one of my family members. I think this patient and their family member were very confused initially, and just understanding what their concerns was the first part of this issue. And then moving forward was to just take the time to explain all their medications and how I can help this patient. I think the extra hour that I spent with this patient was a small part of my day, but it could have a lasting impact on this patient moving forward in their life. And it helps remind me why I entered the healthcare field initially, was to help patients like this and have an impact on people's lives. So very thankful that I was able to be put in this position. And I wanted to thank the pharmacy department for always giving me the opportunity to succeed.
Well, I love that you brought it back to your own personal purpose and what you do. And I think the more I do these episodes, the more I hear the people who are really shining and going beyond the badge of the people who have that core purpose and belief of this is what I came into this field to do and what I see you have to do, and you're accomplishing it and making a difference in people's lives. It's a great story, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. Our next one is for Valerie Powell, who I believe is here. We have from Mount Sinai Beth Israel. Valerie was recognized by her leadership team, and I'm going to bring up Diana Grillo to share this story of excellence from Mount Sinai Beth Israel. Oh, you got your team behind you there. Okay, excellent.
That's my daughter. I'm just getting to work.
She's very proud, I'm sure. All right, Diana, let's hear the story.
All right. Thanks, Steve. I'm so excited to celebrate Valerie today with everybody. So Valerie is a patient care associate on our 8 Silver unit, and she was recently recognized by her nurse manager, who wrote, "I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation to Valerie Powell, who donated clothes to one of our patients. This patient has autism spectrum disorder and is minimally verbal. She was found at home alone while her mother was hospitalized in our ICU. Valerie used her own money to buy clothes for this patient so that she did not have to be in a hospital gown. Valerie's generosity and kindness has made a significant impact, bringing hope and happiness to her day. Her thoughtful donation of clothes will go a long way in providing comfort and warmth to this patient during her recovery journey. Her selflessness and willingness to help those in need is truly inspiring, and we are incredibly grateful for her support. Thank you, Valerie, and we are so grateful that you are part of the MSBI family."
Well, thank you, Diana. Great story, Valerie. And I wonder if you can tell us about your experience through this story. What inspired you to take this kind and thoughtful action, and what was the impact you saw it having on the patient?
Well, the patient was very happy, but it was a social admit. And the patient, well, she really wasn't a patient. She was actually there because of her mother's care. So I just felt like to make her feel unlike a patient, to just buy her some things. That was it. That's all. I mean, she didn't have to wear the hospital gown or anything like that. Sometimes just making a person feel comfortable our patients here at the hospital is good enough.
Yeah, well, you're brushing it off like that was it. That was all I did. This was a above and beyond showing of your empathy for others and your care for others and your kindness for others that was put into this letter that leadership was so proud to see and highlight. And I'm can tell right away that you must bring that to every single interaction you have, not just with patients, but for everyone in your life. If that's
I do. I definitely try my best to put a smile on everyone's face.
Well, you put a smile on a couple hundred people here today. Let's see your proud daughter in the background. Here you are. You should be very proud.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. And thank you, Diana.
Good night.
Have a great rest of your day.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go into our appreciation by colleagues section. A lot of these come from STAR recognition. STAR is that way you can give peer-to-peer praise to anyone else in the institution. And it gets to their supervisors, and sometimes they're so great they roll up to leadership. And we have some to share here today. Let's start off at Mount Sinai Hospital Ambulatory. My colleague Amy DeHaan Sheridan is going to read a story for Siatra Felix. Let's bring Siatra up here for this. Great. There we go. All right, excellent. Take it away, Amy. Unmute, Amy.
So sorry about that. The providers in the pediatric endocrine Article 28 practice have expressed their appreciation for lead medical associate Siatra Felix by saying, Siatra is an incredible asset to the entire team. Her experience, confidence, skill level, and work ethic are superb. Siatra anticipates the needs for the practice in advance, checking equipment and stocking up on supplies so that the practice runs seamlessly. Siatra multitasks incredibly well, balancing all the requests by providers while performing top-notch patient care. Siatra always has great ideas about how to problem solve and make things better. She is incredibly kind and thoughtful and goes above and beyond to support everyone in the practice. We would like to thank her for consistently demonstrating genuine care and concern for patients and staff. Congratulations, Siatra.
Thank you, Siatra. If you guys heard a beep as you were speaking, it was me taking a screenshot of your team celebrating you in the background. I love it.
Thank
They're
you.
so proud. Now, so they're so proud. A dozen different attributes and actions were shared appreciation for here. How would you describe the purpose or commitment you bring to your work every day that you think is having this positive impact?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. To be a healthcare worker, especially when working in pediatrics, you have to be compassionate, confident, skilled, and have lots of patience. I feel that I have all those characteristics and more. I want not only the patients, but their parents to be satisfied when they are done with their appointments. I love what I do. I enjoy working here, and I appreciate my team for shouting me out. All my hard work is getting noticed. I thank y'all so much.
Thank you. And so I'm so happy to see them behind you and cheering you on because this started from your colleagues, from your team wanting to show how much they value you and appreciate you. And they're still there behind you, cheering you on every day. And I'm sure you bring the same to their experience as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siatra. Great to meet you. All right. Thank you, Amy. Next up, Jennifer Figueroa could not be here. You can see her blurb there in the program. She's from New York Ioneer. She was celebrated by New York Ioneer leadership, had a STAR recognition from her director, highlighting her commitment to patient safety when she identified an error within a patient identifier, which was shout out and something we all should be shouting out, those safety checks that are done. So congrats to Jennifer Figueroa. Sorry she couldn't make it. We're going to go on to the Clinical Command Center, which is a system role. So I'm going to have my colleague in marketing, Kathy Gilbert, read a story about Gregory Fisk Jr. Let's bring Gregory Fisk up. Okay, and Kathy, let's hear Gregory's story.
Okay, here we go. Clinical Program Manager Gregory Fisk truly embodies the mission of the Clinical Command Center to ensure the right care to the right patient at the right time with the appropriate resources. Greg has been recognized for his agility, creativity, and collaboration through recent STAR recognitions. Olivia Scambolone from Mount Sinai Hospital's emergency department shared, Working with Greg is in throughput is always a pleasure. He goes above and beyond to help us out in the ED. He is easy to get in touch with, great with communication, and always advocates for us down here. Thank you for your collaboration and partnership. Nicole Cribben from Pediatrics said, Greg, thanks for all your help in multiple bed movements, contacting IP, and being patient with us while we work with multiple disciplines to make bed movements happen to get patients requiring telemetry out of the ED. I appreciate your partnership. We recognize Greg as a leader and healthcare innovator, and our team, our patients, and our system benefit from his efforts. Congratulations.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. And Gregory, the common thread I've been hearing between the 2 star recognitions is appreciation for your partnership and collaboration. And I'd love for you to expand on that and tell us your approach to collaboration with the departments and the leaders that you work with.
Well, first, thank you for the recognition. My approach to collaborating is really made easy with people like Olivia and Nikki in PEDS and the ED and everyone I work with in the command center. When you can see that who you're working with, like, really cares a lot about what they're doing, about their patients, about their own staff, they're respectful of me and my time and the situations I'm dealing with in the command center, and that they're all working very hard to provide the best care possible. It's really motivating for me to meet them at their level. Like a rising tide lifts all boats. So people like Nikki, Olivia, and so many others I've worked throughout the health system, and when I was at the bedside on 8 East, they show me that passion every day, and I just hope that I can do the same for everyone else and show them that, we all can be better and we all can do what we need to do to get the patients the best care they can.
Great. Yeah, that collaboration takes mutual respect and mutual appreciation for the others. And that's so well put. And I'm sure that you bring your part to every single aspect. But it says a lot about you to put the recognition back on them for what they contribute into that relationship. So excellent work. Thank you for all you do in the command center. And I'm sure there's many other fans out there cheering you on too. Keep getting those star recognitions. That's great. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Kathy. Next up, I have God's Favor Guillet is standing by to read a story that was recognized at Mount Sinai Hospital by Mount Sinai Health System supply chain leadership. They recognized from the print shop, George Matei. So let's have George. There we go, George. And God's Favor, let's hear.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations. George Matei has provided the printing services department with design, production, and distribution support since 2019. While the department has found itself down 3 staff members, colleagues have written to appreciate George for consistently and reliably handling extraordinary work requests. Kathy Diaz recently recognized George for his completion of the Crystal Party program and guest list in a 1-day turnaround. And Jillian Pitzer has recognized George for handling a tremendous amount of work for months on end and navigating it like a true champion. Printing services wouldn't be functioning without him and all of his hard work. And I can add that I am a recipient of George's last-minute miracles. So congratulations, George.
Excellent. Thank you, God's Favor. Yeah, and I know there are many, many others who continue to be the recipient of his hard work. And George, I'd love for you to be able to share what is that commitment you make when working with others that leads to this reputation for being so reliable and consistent in your product.
Well, I guess I was sort of like in a unique position. Back in October, Jillian Pitzer moved to marketing. We had another employee, Kinglin Yui, had to leave the job because he needed a position. We worked home for healthcare. And then in November, Karen Moy, who had been here 11 years, went out on long COVID. So I found myself here by myself, filling out the orders for the 7 hospitals in the chain. So basically, from a lot of the people that came before me, it's like Karen and a lot of the help that Jillian had given me, I was able to take care of all this. I mean, we supply everything from posters to doctors' notepads. We do mailings. We do programs. We do flyers. I mean, I could go on to the rest of the program you have here, telling all the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew all these people had to get this stuff done. So, I come in the day and I'd have a list of emails, and then I just get to work and just knock them out. A lot of people were very patient with me. because a lot of the stuff, would take a little bit longer because I would have more emails than I can actually process. But, I did the best I can, and, I got through it. That was from November to we actually started hiring somebody back in May. So
well, I'm glad that it was noticed by your clients, the people who are reaching out to you. I'll give a shout out. Don't wait till the last minute, even though George has this reputation of coming through. Give him the heads up, give him some time. But that commitment to making sure everyone had what they needed in the health system and that coverage was really recognized by people who knew what a challenge it was and really appreciated how you went above and beyond to make it happen.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, George. And thank you, God's favor. We're going to go on to Mount Sinai West, I believe, for the next couple. First up is Maria Pena, who's here by phone only, I believe. So we won't be able to bring her up, but she's listening in and can comment. And Andres, let's hear this story from Mount Sinai West Ambulatory Leadership.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. So really excited to recognize Maria Pena. So the Department of Surgery Offsite Medical Secretary Maria Pena is reliable, extremely organized, takes initiative, comes up with new ideas to improve efficiency, and she always puts the patient first. The physicians she works with continuously praise her for going above and beyond to keep the practice running smoothly. They state that she is trustworthy, reliable, organized, and has a very strong work ethic. The praise comes from patients as well, with a recent patient writing, quote, "Thank you so much for creating space for me last week. I was panicked and embarrassed, and you did not hesitate to go out of your way to help me and put me at ease," end quote. Maria is a self-motivated employee who continuously displays a positive attitude even when faced with challenges. We are extremely grateful to have her as part of our surgery team here at Mount Sinai West.
All right. Thank you, Andre. So Maria, I believe you're there. If you can come off mute, and I'd love to follow up. So it's the physicians that stated you go above and beyond to keep the practice running smoothly. And I wonder if you could tell us, what does that look like? What do you commit to in your work that has this positive effect on the experience of both the physicians and the patients? And do we have you there, Maria? All right. It looks like maybe your audio isn't working, but everyone in our audience, please continue to shout out Maria for that great story, great feedback from the patients and from the providers out there. And if you're able to write it in the chat, Maria, let us know. In the meantime, Andres, let's go on to your second story. Right there, we know that, unfortunately, Nathan Reynolds, I don't believe was able to make it. He's on vacation today. But I want to give a shout out for Nathan Reynolds. He received a star from Kathy Rubenstein as they were filming the Faces of Care series. And I'm going to go to my team, put the link to Faces of Care in the chat. Even though his story is not out yet, he was being thanked for the great job he did in collaborating on that story. And it's an incredible series where you can get behind the scenes looks and a very professional, high quality look at many of the incredible roles around our health system. So check out that link, everyone. His story isn't there yet, but there's a lot of other great stories to see. And look for Nathan Reynolds' story. He's a first cook at Mount Sinai West. It's a really great story. I got a little preview teaser of it and absolutely loved it. So congrats to Nathan. Okay. And another who could not make it, I'm going to go into the employee spotlight section here. Andres, we're going to go back now. I think that's it for you for now. Sorry that Nathan wasn't here, but we're going to go to a quick shout out to Samir Hamad from Radiology Associates. Couldn't make it. He's from Mount Sinai Hospital. It was recognized by radiology leadership for selflessly going above and beyond for patients, coworkers, and the entire department. And they say Radiology Associates will always be in good hands with extraordinary team leaders like Samir. I know Godsaver got to go meet with him yesterday and say thank you in person, even though he couldn't make it. But let's go to Mount Sinai South Nassau next. For this last section, Employee Spotlight, it's highlighting different roles in our system or special projects. And we have Ahmad Hamid is here from South Nassau, and Olivia McGregor is going to read this story. And you're on mute.
Are you able to hear?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I last minute adjusted my audio because I have a bit of construction behind me, so hopefully you can all hear me. But I am so excited to be here today to recognize Ahmad. I know he's such a valued member of our team, and his leaders had a lot of great things to say about him. As a medical dosimetrist in our radiation oncology physics team, Ahmad Hamid is responsible for helping the physician develop the best possible radiation treatment for our patients by using CT imaging and specialized computer software. When developing plans for our patients, Ahmad looks at each plan as if he is taking care of one of his own family members. Recently, Ahmad was working on a case where the patient required multiple CT scans to be performed with urgency as a result of changes in a patient's tumor. Ahmad dedicated himself to extra long days to ensure that the patient's care went smoothly and according to plan. Ahmad is a humble man who works diligently each and every day to produce the best outcomes for our patients, for which he is outstanding in every way. We are so grateful to have Ahmad Hamid at Mount Sinai South Nassau for his dedication to our patients. Thank you, Ahmad.
Very nice. Ahmad, your colleagues are added that knowing you have done the right thing by the patient is your motivation. That's what they said in this write-up. And I'm wondering what you think of that statement. Is that something you agree with? And can you tell us about that commitment you make to your patients?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Stephen. I'd like to congratulate all of the honorees that are being recognized today at Beyond the Badge for going above and beyond the call of duty. I'm really honored to receive this recognition, and anyone that knows me knows that I typically like to shy away from the limelight. But as a dosimetrist, we work behind the scenes developing, highly sophisticated radiation therapy treatment plans to treat cancer patients. It's a job that I'm really passionate about, and I would agree with you. Yeah, my motivation is to always achieve the most best for our patients, and some of which are going through the most difficult times in their life. So it's my honor to serve our patients in any means and to make their cancer journey as easy as possible. This commitment can only be achieved through teamwork and dedication. I've been at South Nassau for over 15 years, and I'm honored to be a part of this dedicated team that works tirelessly to strive for the best outcomes for our patients. So thank you for the honor. It's well appreciated.
Well, even though that great work and commitment backstage, I'm glad you took some limelight here and came on because I know your colleagues want to see you get this deserved recognition with how much they appreciate and value
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Stick with us, everyone. We've got 2 stories to go. They're excellent. Next up, we're going to go to the ambulatory care call center. We'll bring Sadika Horn back up. And there's a great story for Valerie Lewis to be in the spotlight here. So let's bring Valerie Lewis up and Sadika. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
Hi, Valerie, and congratulations.
How are you? Thank you.
Valerie Lewis is one of our newest agents, joining our team last September with enthusiasm and eagerness to learn. When she first joined, she was new to a call center environment and inexperienced in how the call center functioned. She challenged herself to learn and did not give up. With determination, along with help from the rest of her teammates, Valerie quickly learned our workflow. She always handles our callers with patience, empathy, and utmost professionalism. Valerie has become a great addition to our team, and we appreciate her positive attitude and her kind nature. We thank you for being part of the ambulatory care call center.
Uh-oh.
All right, thank you. So Valerie, as you reflect on this first year in this new environment, what have you found to be the most important new skill or approach that you needed to master?
Okay, working in a hospital, I have always practiced patient and providing clients with a good experience when interacting with them. And this was transferable for this role. But as for the new skill, I can name one of many administrative skills I have learned thus far. But the most important approach to this role that I needed to master is never to count myself out despite the challenge. Most of the applications using on the computer are technical tools that are very new to me. I stepped away from the office and clerical work years ago, and I'm now getting reintroduced to it in this new digital age. I'm my hardest critic. So I have to continually remind myself of how much I have excelled within my position. I'm excited to learn more, do more, and continue to grow personally and professionally. I thank my team, my great supervisors for all the trust they put into me, and I'm glad to be a part of their team.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you for highlighting your experience in healthcare and how so many in your team's cheering you on, how much that experience led in. But there was also a big learning curve and challenges, but that belief in yourself, take one day at a time, continue to learn and grow. And here you are, that first year being celebrated so highly that it went to the senior most leadership to share how exceptional you've done.
Greatly appreciated.
Oh, wonderful, Valerie. Thank you so much. Very well written and said.
Okay.
Our last story of the day, hang with us for one more. Mount Sinai Health System laboratory leadership recognized Heidi Lopez from the downtown Chelsea Center. So Tony Maley is standing by to read this wonderful story for Heidi Lopez. Hi, Heidi. Thanks for waiting for the end.
Hello, everyone.
Tony.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to recognize Miss Heidi Lopez, who is the laboratory manager of the Blavatnik Family Chelsea Medical Center at Mount Sinai. With the health system since 1999, Heidi has established herself as a true leader in the laboratory. She is dedicated, resourceful, and always willing to step in when needed. Heidi has been a true partner in improving overall operations at Chelsea, working with the various departments to improve patient flow and throughput. One of her many achievements was designing the process to improve the tracking, receipt, and transport of bone marrow specimens from Chelsea to Mount Sinai Hospital. She is always available to address any needs, and it's not uncommon on our daily huddle to hear Heidi say, "I'm on PTO, but call or email me if you need me." She is an asset to the laboratory, Chelsea, and Mount Sinai. Congratulations, Heidi.
Thanks, Tony. So Heidi, 24 years experience at Mount Sinai, leadership, wanted to share this story. What's brought you the most joy and pride in the work you do in the lab and with your team?
Yes, hi. First of all, thank you for the honor. With 24 years of experience at Mount Sinai Beth Israel, I am fortunate to work with professional individuals in my department and other clinical services. Collaboration, communication, and critical thinking are essential for my professional success, which I attained because I was blessed to be in a company of great leaders who put their trust in me and supported me throughout my tenure in this organization. I am so proud to lead such a great, patient, motivated team and their commitment to excellence, especially my team at Chelsea Medical Center, who constantly gives their 100% daily. This is a true testament to all the positive patient feedbacks we receive from the patient experience surveys for the lab. This recognition is not just for me, but also for my team, which makes my job more manageable. Again, thank you for the incredible recognition. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Heidi. And a big thank you to your team as well. Let them know everyone here really appreciates what you said about them. And, you commented on the leaders that you've had that have been there to support you. And it sounds like you're the same leader for your team to be that person of support and guidance and mentorship. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad we were able to share this story, Heidi. And so nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Tony. That wraps up our 17th episode of Beyond the Badge here in our second year, our second season. More stories are shared every single day on the System Daily Huddle. So one was shared this morning, and we're going to bring that story and all the others from June to you next month on July 27th. A whole fresh set of stories keep coming on back. But thank you to everyone who joined today to support and celebrate these employees. And thank you to every one of our honorees for the great, inspiring role model work you do going beyond the badge every single day in your work.